Disney has continually produced flop after flop after flop. Even Pixar, look at what happened with the Buzz Lightyear movie after incorporating some gay themes to it, because that's what Disney has been trying to shoehorn to children. Gay perversion themes, right? Well, then they become a bit desperate given their losses, and they're like, hey, Inside Out 2, we need this to sell well. We need money because we have been failing. So let's dial back and let's play it safe and not incorporate any of these gay themes. And guess what? It becomes a massive success. So let's go ahead and dive into this article and talk more about it. I haven't seen Inside Out at all. I haven't watched anything from Disney or Pixar in a while, to be honest. That's new that I can think of off the top of my head, at least. But yeah, I mean, people do say Inside Out is great. I just haven't seen it. So here IGN wrote this massive article. I think their angle with this, though, is trying to paint Pixar in a negative light because, let's see, their headline says Inside Out 2 was the hit Pixar needed, but the laid off employees who crunched on it are still hurting. Well, you know, it does suck to see people laid off and all that. But I mean, part of that is due in part to where Disney and Pixar have really landed themselves with a lot of their failures that they have produced. And it's going to take more than one successful movie to recoup from all that. So IGN here on X wrote Inside Out 2 is the highest grossed animated film ever, but behind the scenes Pixar workers grappled with crunch, layoffs, and avoidance of LGBTQ plus hashtag perverted themes. Our report of the tumultuous making of the sequel to one of the most beloved Pixar films ever. And then you see a lot of, I mean, I'm seeing a ton of replies just saying avoiding LGBTQ themes was the reason for its success. I'm trying to sneeze right now. Excuse me. Okay, Disney Pixar becoming based. Well, there's one that says sucks to hear those conditions of the film. One says that. Another says, okay, groomer. So yeah, a lot of people are like, good. All this less gay crap. Great. Look what happens when you don't put in the gay crap. And you know what? Before I dive into this even more, the gays on X still tried to pretend like this was a gay movie. Still tried. I don't know if you guys saw that right when this movie was first coming out and all that, but they were posting, I mean, it went pretty viral. One thread did, where they posted a picture of the girl who I believe is 13 years old, mind you, and they're sexualizing this 13-year-old. Oh, don't pretend like y'all are pretending like she's straight. Y'all know that she likes to do XYZ, naming gay acts, that gay perverted acts that they in their headcanon are imagining this 13-year-old girl doing. Disgusting. Perverted. That's the thing, is the whole LGBTQ identity and all of that, it all is about sex. That's all it's about. So they get it, it's all perverted. It all goes against God's design. It's perverted. And so whenever they talk about it, or whenever, oh, I want to feel seen, I think kids should feel seen. You're a pervert if you say if you are saying a child is LGBTQ, all that stuff. You are a pervert if you are putting sexuality on a child. Oh, but what about straight? But what about, bro, straight is your default setting. Straight human being. This is like, oh, they are a human being. They are how God made them. That's not placing a sexuality on them, because there is no such thing as sexualities. Straight is not a sexuality. It is a default setting. It is being a human being. That is normal and how God created us. It is not a sexuality. Gay isn't a sexuality. Bi, this, that, and the other isn't a sexuality. It is a perversion. It is going against your default setting. It is dishonoring your default setting. It contributes nothing to society but harm. That's it. It sounds harsh and people feel attacked because they've made it their identity, but that's not your identity. That's not the same thing as, oh, I was born and I'm Irish. That's my identity, I'm Irish. Or someone else is born and they're black. That's not the same thing. Kink and perversion is not the same thing. These are actions that you can choose to participate in or not participate in. We can't control the color of our skin. You can control what you're doing with your buttholes and stuff. Okay? So don't pretend, oh, but it's my identity. Oh, no. Oh, and you want to talk about gay kids? You're a pervert if you call a kid gay. You are a pervert. You are a PDF file. Okay. That's going to make people mad. But I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. And this is why society has turned into what it has and why we have all these problems now. We started welcoming this stuff. Look at the fall of Rome. Look at the fall of all these nations. Do you think America can't fall? Look at the trajectory we're at right now and how a lot of people are scared about the future, are scared about even this election and the outcome and what that means for our future. America can see America isn't guaranteed to be a superpower forever. And accepting all of this degeneracy is a huge, massive reason why so many people are scared about the future of this country, because this country started accepting perversion and this country started representing and celebrating perversion. God doesn't like that. Read 1 Kings and 2 Kings. So that's the thing you've got to do. You've got to, if you want a nation to succeed, here is your 3-step plan. Step 1, remove idols. Step 2, remove sexual immorality. Perversion. But like in 1 Kings, 2 Kings, it was the shrine prostitutes. They had male prostitutes that were rampant. And the Asherah poles, the idols. Step 3, pray for the country. Acknowledge Jesus Christ. Okay, anyway, let's continue. So they talked about Lightyear and how Lightyear was a huge disappointment with just $226 million worldwide. And how it was a huge failure for them. So it says some go as far to say they believe Pixar would fall apart if Inside Out 2 wasn't a runaway success. So they really had a lot of pressure for this to succeed. So whether or not Pixar was actually in danger isn't confirmed, but in a Time interview just before the release of Inside Out 2, that doctor said, if this doesn't do well at the theater, I think it just means we're going to have to think even more radically about how we run our business, right? So they also said, where was that? About this is a gigantic article, and I do not feel like reading all of it. So there was a mention, okay, playing it safe. We're just gonna do easy mode. Okay, here we go. Multiple sources say that Disney leadership internally put a large part of the blame for Lightyear's financial failure on a same-sex kiss in the film. That did play a huge part. I remember when that was making its rounds on social media, and a lot of parents were like, okay, I'm not taking my kid to watch this. I'm not doing that. I don't want them to see that perversion, which was briefly removed, then reinstated after an internal staff uproar. Oh, look, hopefully they probably aren't working there anymore, are they? Got what you want. Got your gay kiss. Also got the boot. And also produced a failure. Good job. Pat yourself on the back. So In a joint statement to Walt Disney Company leadership, LGBTQ workers and allies at Pixar said leadership was censoring overtly gay affection at a time where employees were also protesting the company's response to Florida's Don't Say Gay bill. It is, as far as I know, still a thing where leadership, they'll bring up Lightyear specifically and say, oh, Lightyear was a financial failure because it had a queer kiss in it. One source tells IGN, that's not the reason the movie failed. Oh, okay. So it's just a coincidence that all the gay stuff that you're dropping is failing, but then the movie where they said, hey, let's make it where there is no gay stuff and nobody will get the idea that there's gay stuff, that becomes a success. That's just a coincidence, though. Okay. Now, Doctor largely uses the language of making universal stories, which to him means something that's very homogenous that anyone can relate to, one source says. The apparent hesitance to touch on LGBTQ themes storylines in particular affected Inside Out 2's development, according to several of our sources. Multiple people recall hearing about continuous notes to make Riley, the main character of both Inside Out movies, come across as, quote, less gay, leading to numerous edits that ramped up around September 2023 after the resolution of the WGA strike. Sources describe rumors that there was special care put into making the relationship between Riley and Val, a supporting character introduced in Inside Out 2, seem as platonic as possible, even requiring edits to the lighting and tone of certain scenes to remove any trace, quote, romantic history of romantic history. One source describes it as just doing a lot of extra work to make sure no one would potentially see them as not straight. And yet, the queers still made fan fictions in their head of the main character, 13-year-old, doing gay acts because they are perverts. Anyway, this is just where we're at. I mean, obviously, seeing this being acknowledged, seeing a lot of people leave their feedback on it and saying, hey, this is good. This is good that they avoided those themes. This is a show for children, a movie for children. That's another thing, right? That makes it even more. Okay, you definitely shouldn't be putting gay crap in children's shows. I don't think we should be putting it in anything. Not for adult movies either, but especially not for movies for children. They were trying to corrupt the youth with it. And thank goodness parents who care about their children and not wanting to corrupt them with these demonic ideologies that go against the Bible. Thank goodness they prevented their children from seeing these things. But anyway, gosh, like I'm an aunt now. I have a 2-year-old nephew and a 1-year-old niece. Well, she's like 1.5 now, or not 1 actually. She's approaching 1. I was like, wait a minute. That wasn't over a year ago. But anyway, I think about my niece and nephew. I would not want them seeing all that crap. I just want to protect them from all this stuff. So, yeah, anyway. This is where we are at. Disgusting that people are wanting to put this stuff in front of children. But now we have this as a glimmer of hope that, now we're going to see hopefully a turnaround. Because that's the thing. I don't want to see America fall. I don't want to see society fall. But if it doesn't stop with celebrating this degeneracy, it will. People so much want to tell me, oh, just mind your own business. Why do you care about what queer people are doing and this and that? Well, first of all, I don't want to see them go to hell. Oh, you're so hateful. I'm not hating anybody. To me, what's hateful would be to encourage that behavior. Encourage behavior that is harming themselves and harming society. That's hateful. Encouraging that. So to tell people, hey, this is perverted. Hey, this is going to hurt you. Hey, this is going to hurt the nation. That's tough love. And you got to have that sometimes. You got to have that a lot of times. Tough love is important. You don't validate people on a destructive path. You don't validate people on a path that's going to destroy themselves and society. That's not love. So people can call me hateful all they want. It's not hate. It's wanting to see better for people and society. And heck, I don't want society to fail. I don't want America to fall. We're already at this election right now where it's like, oh my goodness, are we approaching the end times that Revelation speaks of because of everything we're seeing? And it was so fast that when gay marriage got legalized in this country to where we are now with all of this perversion running rampant, that happened so fast. Oh, we just want to get married. We just want legal rights. Look where things are now. They're literally mutilating children. That is not hateful to stand against this stuff. So, whatever. Make me the bad guy. I don't care. Make me the bad guy, but I will not stand for this. It's like I got manipulated into the whole ally thing. I got manipulated into the whole love is love. That's how they try to market it. Love is love. Oh, people just want. But that's not it. And it took me reading the Bible a lot more. Every day now. Every day. I never miss a day. In the past, 2 or 3 years, I've missed 3 days because of a funeral. I shouldn't have been, but regardless, I read the Bible every single day. It changed my life. I would encourage everybody to do that. It will change your life. But yeah, I was reading 1st and 2nd Kings, especially, that really woke me up on stuff. Like, wow, look at when the kings who did not tear down the idols and did not stop the gay prostitution, look at what happened versus the ones who actually were obedient to God and took down those idols. Well, that's the thing that you see in the Bible. A patterned history is what destroys people and what destroys nations. Idol worship. This also would include all those mediums, tarot cards, even the zodiac signs. This is idolatry. It's witchcraft. And then also sexual immorality. Right now in this country, we are celebrating and even saying it's empowering for people to be promiscuous for premarital sex. Don't even care about, obviously, the gay stuff too, but even with the straight stuff, the premarital sex, the promiscuity, that's all got to stop. We've got to stop glorifying these things. Find a husband or find a wife, whatever the opposite gender of you is. Find that. Make it happen. And if you don't have that, be celibate, read your Bible. I know. Oh, but it's 2024. And guess what? We're going to fail as a society. And you're only hurting yourself. You're only hurting yourself if you don't obey what the Bible tells us. Oh, but I don't believe in that. Okay, well, what's that doing for you in society? Look to something beyond yourself for once, please. Anyway, I'm going on a rant. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. If you want me to read the Bible to you, you can check out my Bible channel Bible Time with Melanie Mack. Also, on this channel, I just reached 200,000 subscribers yesterday. So thank you all so much for that. That makes me so happy. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.